Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I never know how to cover this kind of story. People ask me all the time, Prof, how do you still play? How do you still make YouTube videos? You make so many videos. Well, I'm kind of relaxed now. I've done years of hard work. This is sort of like the plane's landed, gotten out of it, walked around, been thankful I'm on the ground, landed safely, and now I just take flights for fun. Sometimes there isn't a destination, it's just the journey that matters. So in Alliance War, I kind of look at it like that. I don't care about Alliance War, but I know a lot of people who do, and I dabbled a little bit during the Caps Commissary event and didn't really miss it. But some people only still play because of war. I think war has strangely become more fun for people in, I guess, certain seasons at least, than Battlegrounds was for them at the beginning. I think there was this expectation that Battlegrounds would be the new Alliance War, but Battlegrounds, maybe it's because of the pressure, maybe it's because of the quote-unquote credit card rosters, the bugs, just the overall exhaustion for not great rewards. It just hadn't been, especially in the past few months in 2024, what Kabam wanted. So when we had this reward tier bump post, there was generally, at least for me on paper, because again, this doesn't really affect me, so I'm looking at this kind of objectively, not having a dog in the fight. Seemed like a understandably smart decision. But then we got this on a Wednesday, I believe. Hi Summoners here with another update for Alliance War. Previously, we made the decision to omit War 7 from the current season's scoring. Due to the unforeseen impact this would have on the top alliances in this competitive mode, our team has decided to revert this decision. Now, Kabam is stating the obvious here. Whales control the game. That is not exclusive to Marvel Contest of Champions. That's not exclusive to the video game industry. The quote-unquote real casinos do the same thing with their top players. That's who keeps the lights on. And I just think it's obvious to anybody who has run any for-profit company that you're going to cater to the people who spend the most money. Normally, that's stated behind the scenes, not publicly, not so upfront. It's just kind of implied. It's the reason why, for years, the gifting event didn't change. It's kind of amazing it changed at all, because so many whales were buying Odins, or what the Crystal Opening Whale used to call Hodins, in a way to go around paying 100% of the price tag in Google Play or Apple. And then, of course, there are people before Kabam took over the refunds that tried taking advantage of them by getting items and then getting refunds for them. I get why the system was changed. It, I'm sure, has made it better for Kabam. But when you combine this statement about the unforeseen impact on top alliances with the statement from 2023 from Kabam Jax that your time is no longer seen as valuable because we assume you can't use your time to pay the salaries of Kabam employees or even the hourly payment of Kabam employees, it's just left a bad taste in several summoners' mouths, and one summoner who I don't think they would be mad if I use their name, but I think it's better and honestly more professional to not. He says, while we made the initial decision to set things right, believing no alliance should lose due to a clerical error, this had serious ramifications at the top of the leaderboard. In other words, the top of the leaderboard was threatening to retire, leave, stop spending if they went through with this. And the top of the leaderboard contains just a few alliances, let's say like less than 500 people total for the top 20. And yet, those top 20 alliances control more than 500,000 people below them. That's how powerful whales are. We found out how powerful whales are this week. I am not saying this as an attack on Kabam necessarily, because I get that they are holding on to their remaining whales, of which there's a lot less blubber at the top than there used to be. Because here's where it gets tricky for me as a YouTuber. Let's say it's easier to make a video where I just slam Kabam and say, how dare they only cater to whales. Now, they're not saying they only cater to whales, they're just saying the whales kind of make the decisions at the top. And so then a bunch of people are like, let's boycott the game. And let's say, just hypothetically, even though boycotts historically don't seem to work, that it works. And then I go from complaining about whales to not really complaining about whales because there's no more game. Which situation would I rather have? A situation where I try to talk about something objectively while not necessarily getting the most views or clicks or therefore revenue because it's not so emotional, but at the same time, I'm not going to do the other side, which is to just get overly dramatic. I get where Kabam is coming from, but I also get that when they say, we understand this has been a messy season and the handling of War 7 will cause further friction. They get it. They're trying to get out in front of it. There have been a series, a domino effect, of just how powerful whales are. I think it makes sense because when something makes sense, it makes dollars. When it makes dollars, Kabam's happy. Free-to-play players don't make sense or dollars, I guess. As a result, the team has made the decision to bump every alliance one reward tier at the end of the season. As a result, all Masters Alliances will receive a 7-star Scarlet Witch. As a result of this change, reward payout may be delayed from the normal timeline. Please have patience as we try to make this adjustment to compensate impacted alliances and remain in your current alliance until the season completes. It is worth reminding you all this reward tier bump is coming in addition to the previously mentioned compensation for difficulties in this season. And I do think that is really worth noting. I do think that compensation is going to be helpful. It's not going to make everybody happy, of course it never is, but at least they're trying to state, we are trying to give you this. I think Kabam has handled situations much worse than this, but I also don't remember a time where they were so blunt about who made the call. Thank you for your patience. And then we've got, small numbers down there. How do we interpret this? Should any of us really be shocked? I don't think so. But when I talk about the game in 2024, I feel like I'm talking about like an old friend. Doesn't look as young as you remember them. Doesn't move as quickly. Isn't as excited for life. They're almost depressed. They're still breathing. They're still moving. They're still trying to make your day better, but they're tired. This game is tired. This community is tired. Kabam is tired. I don't think a game is supposed to last this long, and yet it's kind of a miracle it has. And Kabam deserves a lot of credit because they've pivoted to different revenue models over the years, anticipating that whales will drop out and that it might take 100 summoners to equal that one whale, but it's also more sustainable to get 100 people to pay $5 than it is to wait for somebody to drop $500. Or, now with the inflated prices, it's easier for 100 people to spend $100 than it is for one person to spend $10,000. I don't want this video to reach 10 minutes. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it triggers more ads because the revenue increases, and I just don't think I'm worth more ads. I know what my voice is and what it isn't. But I do think we found out the whales are as powerful as ever. That's my takeaway. And I'm not saying I don't get it. It is what it is. What do you think about this situation? Thanks for watching. Thank you for commenting in advance. Have a good one.